The world is ablaze. Institutions have failed us. Fascism is on the rise. Where do we go from here? Greetings, dear one. I am Zach of Consciously Awesome. Today I'm going to explore this topic with you. And my hope here is that I can point you in a specific direction to help you and me and everyone know where to go from here. Many moons ago, so long ago, I was exploring spirituality and religion. It's probably 20 years ago. And at the time I was in Kansas and I was living around Kansas City. And me and my friend, we went to Lawrence, Kansas, which is a college town, because they had a Zen temple there. And we're just exploring. We show up and there just happens to be the Zen master there, not the abbot, but a Zen master. I was like, whoa, this is totally cool. And he totally just kind of like was very confusing to me. But some of the things that weren't confusing was this. He said it's basically his job to point to a thing. And he uses words to express what he's pointing at. But the words aren't important. What he's pointing at is important. And so often as human beings, we really focus on the words. And words are just symbols. They're not the actual thing that they are pointing at. And so he said, this is just my job, is just to point at this thing and to hope that people don't take the words, pull them down, and start to fight over the words instead of the thing that he's pointing at. And this only sat with this man once. He's incredible. He's made his way into my consciousness since then, and helped me out in other ways too. And there's a few other things that he gifted me just in this one session with him, but that's one of them. So I just tell you this story because I'm just going to use words to point to something today. And what I'm pointing at isn't the words. It's not the real thing. They're just symbols. And so where we go from here? Life's a freaking mess right now. I mean, it's been a mess, but it's really come to the surface, right? You all have social media feeds and news feeds, and they run 24/7 now. And it doesn't take long to figure out what's going on in the world and how bad the media, right, projects that onto our consciousness. So things look pretty grim. Where do we go from here? It has been said for so long, love is the answer. And being a human being and having different parts of being a human being, the mind being one, emotions, a body, a spirit, a soul, so many different facilities that we have. And often, especially in today's modern culture, we're stuck in the storyteller, in the mind. And that's what gets us hooked on the news feeds and the narratives that go on. It's that particular portion of us. And so love is the answer. I will go on to say that love is the way. It is the way. It is the way home. It is the way home back to the self. It is the way home back to truth. It is the way home back to joy. It is the way home back to the essence. It is a way home back to the connection of all of creation, which includes this external world. It is the path home. It is the only way home. There is no other way. There is no other answer. There is not. And this is the tricky part about being a human being. Because so often, especially in modern culture, we want to solve problems with our mind. We have been disconnected from our bodies. part of our own truth, part of our power. We've been disconnected because we're disconnected from our bodies. We've been disconnected from the truth of our emotion because it comes from the body. And the emotions are the language of the soul. And so all these parts are disconnected, and love is the way home. It is the home. It is the way to create coherence for that connection to happen, for wholeness to come into my experience. And as I am a human, you are a human, it is your way too, as it has been all the masters who have taught the real truth of reality and life and who we are as human beings. So love, you just can't do love. It's not in our vocabulary. Literally, we don't do love. I will tell you from my own experience, because I know who I am. More specifically, I know what I am. I am love. That is the essence of me. And I know you are love. That is the essence of you. This is the highest truth anybody can give you, is to let you know that you are magnificent. So magnificent. That you are the love that you seek. And that you are the path and you are the way. And there is no other way but through love. You can't do love, but you can be love. And you can be love because you are love. Underneath all the cosmetics of the mind and the emotions and the body and all the cool stuff that we get to manifest ourselves as individuals, that is at its core. You are that love. I am that love. And that is all there is. And that love is the answer to all things. It is the pathway to all things. There is no other pathway. How love is expressed, that's up to us. That's up to us. How do we want to express that love? That is the question of the human being. You are this thing, that's all there is. How do you want to express that? Because all that is, this love that I speak of, cannot be created nor destroyed. It has always been and will always be. That is the end of that. It is the Alpha and the Omega. It is the one. And we are just individual expressions of this one. And we are brought here to this earth to have a contextual field of expression. I'll unpack that for you. Life is not a school. We are not here to learn anything. The soul, the love part of you, knows everything. You can't teach it a thing. It knows all of it. So what it's up to coming here to Earth, which has been labeled as a school of learning, which is a tremendous disservice to humanity, is a contextual field for experience. So I'm going to try to keep this simple. We have black, we have white, we have good, we have evil, we have male, we have female, we have up, we have down, we have left, we have right, we have skinny, we have fat, and all the spectrum of isms in between. So this earth in this physical dimension that we call the universe on a physical plane creates a contextual field, which means the I am, that is this version of me, gets to say, this is who I am. And when I say this is who I am, the rest of the world goes, okay, cool. And the opposite thing shows up. And that opposite thing shows up because I can't experience myself in the absence of that which I am not. So we have duality. We have love and we have fear. Right now, the collective is in a lot of fear. And so that's what I want to use these words to point at and talk about. where do we go from here? Well, I have spent so much of my life not being love because I have wanted to try to figure it all out with the mind. And I can't do that, right? I have to be love because love is the path. And it's very difficult to have this understanding. I'm talking about an experience here, something that you can experience yourself as. I'm not talking about a concept. I'm talking about what is real. And so it's very hard in the face of darkness or fear, we'll call it fear, to be loving because darkness looks like the opposite of everything that I may stand for at the time. Right? It's all relative. So this fear is like, no, everything's afraid. Be afraid. Be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be worried, be concerned, blah, 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 right? That shows up in a lot of different ways for human beings: anger, stress, worry. And then those things turn into dis-ease. So then our bodies start to shut down and we start to die. We stop youthing and we become aging and we die. Because we have this narrative, we live in a world of polarity that says, be afraid. And that is exacerbated by our current technology and our current people who control narratives, the big narratives that everybody loves to talk about. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? It's like, Zach, how do I experience this love you speak of when I'm afraid, right? That's really what I'm getting at. Or when I'm worried, or when I'm concerned, or where I don't understand, and when I'm confused. Because we are living in an engineered reality right now with those narratives creating all of that I just labeled. Confusion being a big one. And I just invite you into this. Love your fear. Love your fear. I did not say don't be afraid. Love your fear. If you are afraid, take a deep breath, breathe into that, and feel it. What do you feel when you start to love that fear? Why are you afraid? What is behind that fear, that reaction? What is behind that? If you're worried, love the worry. If you're stressed, love your stress. If you are stuck in an identity, love that identity. And what I mean by that is, if I say I am a parent who sacrifices all of these things for my children, right? I sacrifice myself so my children can have a good life. This is my identity. Love that identity, right? Love all of that comes with it. Don't judge it, love it. Love all of the stress and the anguish and the worry and the concern and all the ways that may be stretching you right now. I'm just using one little example, but there's a lot more. Because the idea is loving the identity, the I amness that I am stuck in, the I amness that I am fulfilling with my actions, words, and deeds. Love it. Love it. Just take a moment, take a breath, and love it. I know for me, when I love my fear, it's because I love me. Yeah. And it feels so good to love me. It feels so good to be me. Because I understand how life works. And I have had a very, very traumatic, tumultuous life. And to stand here before you and to be able to give you these nuggets of wisdom and understanding that love is the way, and you must love the thing that you are being in the moment, what can that do for you? I invite you into that exploration. For me, when I go, oh man, I'm feeling scared of this reality, of this life, maybe the earth itself, maybe humanity is gone. Why am I so afraid? Oh man, I would be afraid because I love the smell of flowers. And I don't want to lose that. I would be afraid because I love to meet new people and explore what they have to offer to me. I'm afraid because I don't want to miss that sunshine on my face in the morning. And I'm going to love this fear because it's pointing to something that is real, that I am and that I can experience. And that is the way home. That is the way back to you. That's the way back to your eternal self. And from this place, with that understanding, it's more than an understanding, it's an experience. With that experience, how can then you express yourself? Right? So we can't change the big bad fear, but I can love it and I can recognize why I love it. And when I recognize why I love it, something magical happens for me with the experience of what I truly am. Again, going back to this, I'm using words to point at something. These words aren't what I want you to hang on. It's the experience that is real that they can give you. So that's my invitation for now, is to love whatever is coming up for you. Then when you start loving your fear or your worry or your stress and all these things that you're trying to figure out in the world around you to survive, man, how about loving your gratitude? Wow, love gratitude. How incredible. How about loving your joy? Love never ends. May the energies of this transmission in these words bless you with the experience of who you truly are. And I leave you with this.